Hi everyone, it's Rose from Patient Therapies, home of 12 Diets in 12 Months. I want to share with you my summary of Vegan Month for April. For the entire month of April, I ate a vegan diet, and I wanted to test out that famous belief that as long as you get enough variety, that you will meet your nutritional needs. Every major vegan organization claims this, so it should hold up. I used chronometer.com. They do an in-depth analysis of your nutritional intake, so I documented every single morsel. So I'm going to read to you what my experience was, and if you want a copy of this, you can go to my website patienttherapies.com, and you'll find my 12 Diets Challenge, and the information will be on that tab. So first of all, I want to say that if you have not experienced a vegan diet, then I can tell you firsthand, the foods are really tasty. My family enjoyed a lot of the different meals that I was able to make. Now, that being said, I did not hold them to the vegan meal plan. It was just for me. But they often benefited because some of the recipes were fantastic. I did share some of my recipes on my website and on my Facebook page, 12 Diets in 12 Months. Check it out. So I'll get to the most popular recipes at the end of this video. But first I want to let you know that while the food was tasty, if you're not careful, you can run into nutritional deficits. The vegan health ideal has inspired so many changes in our food supply chain, from organic to non-GMO to sustainably raised, and there is now a greater demand for meatless options. So even the Impossible Burger has made it into one of our major fast food chains. So these are not small things. It's powerful what the vegan community has done to impact our culture. And I think that's amazing. The other thing that is also incredible is that because of its low fat and low cholesterol nature, the vegan diet is often prescribed for people with heart disease or issues with high cholesterol. So that's amazing. It is proven to help reverse atherosclerosis. You can get a handle on your cholesterol intake. So these are wonderful, wonderful things. The reason I'm doing 12 diets in 12 months is because I want to be fair. There are good things about each one of these diets. And those are some of the most noteworthy things. And kudos to the vegan society and culture that has promoted and advocated and inspired us. So some of the benefits that I found is that your cholesterol will go down, your blood pressure will probably go down. There is a lot of fiber in this diet, and high fiber diets are associated with good colon health. Now for me, I had 31 grams of fiber on average every single day. I ate a massive salad every day of greens, whether it was spinach or a spring mix with arugula or kale. I had a large green salad every day. Highly nutritious, lots of fiber, and yes, it makes you very regular. So the thing that I found on some of my meal planning was that I did have to go to specialty stores. The local grocer didn't always carry the tempeh that I was looking for, or the nutritional yeast, which is a source of B12 because it's not abundant in the vegan diet. And then you also might need to go to a specialty store for something like Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread is a sprouted grain bread. So that's a mouthful. It's actually pretty good. Typically it's in the refrigerated section, and I would go through one loaf in about 2 weeks. I kept it refrigerated. It makes for really good sandwiches. There are other vegan items that are processed that you can also get. Local grocery stores usually carry them. Things like deli sliced tofurkey. Obviously, that's a fake deli meat made from tofu to taste like turkey. And there's DAIYA, which is a brand name that makes artificial cheese. You really need to layer that in. I wouldn't use it for, say, just to snack on a piece of cheese, but it's not a bad substitute. There's also lots of different creative ways that you can substitute things for like a meat eater diet. You're going to look for that creaminess in your foods that the dairy would give you. And one of the hacks for that is to use cashews. If you put cashews and a little bit of vegetable broth in a blender, it makes a really delicious, creamy addition to whatever you're making, whether it's a stir fry or just a meal that needs something with a little bit of cream in it that you would normally get from dairy. So there's that. The food cost is a little higher because most vegan products are a little more expensive, but you're not spending money on meats and cheeses, which are also expensive. I mean, let's face it. So it's pretty much a wash as far as food costs go. Now, if you want to go into the realm of, well, I want to embrace the entire vegan lifestyle, hair products, cosmetics, all these things that are cruelty-free, unfortunately, are more expensive. For me, I tried to look at what products I was using as far as shampoo and cosmetics go. Now, my cosmetics are not vegan friendly. They are made by Estee Lauder, and Estee Lauder is usually getting most of their stuff made in China. China actually has a mandatory animal testing requirement on some of their products, and that would fall in that category. So they have reportedly moved some of their production facilities to Tennessee, and hopefully that means that it will reduce their cruelty-free, increase their cruelty-free products. My hair products are Paul Mitchell, and Paul Mitchell for years has been cruelty-free. Yay, I'm very thankful for that because my hair is a bit difficult to wash and brush, but I have discovered Paul Mitchell and it has really made me happy. Okay, one other thing on as far as like hair dye goes, I do need to dye my hair. Obviously, you can see I've got a little gray right here. I dye my hair about once a month, and I usually use a Garnier product. Garnier, I don't know how you say it, but I love the Olea product. It really works well for me. But I thought, well, vegan month, let's branch out a little bit. I used a henna product from Lush Cosmetics. And while it was a good result, let's say, and my hair felt fantastic the day after, it didn't get to my roots because when you work with henna, it gets a little muddy and clumpy. And I know that sounds awful, but that's the nature of it. And the dye worked fine. The color was good, but it didn't get to my roots. So until I find something better, I'll probably go back to my previous Garnier Olea. Okay, let's keep going. Restaurants are poorly prepared for a vegan diet. They will claim, yeah, we have vegan options, a garden salad typically, or a veggie burger substitute, and they just put it on their regular bread. So it's sketchy at best. There were a couple times during the month that we tried to order out, and it was a miserable failure. I ordered a veggie quesadilla, and I got just a couple steamed pieces of zucchini on a plain tortilla. No pico, no lettuce, no nothing, no sauce. It was awful, not even worth the time. Fortunately, I love to cook, and so that was fine. Now, I do want to say that even though I stuck to the vegan diet, it nourished me. I did a nutrition analysis. We'll get to that later. But I do want to make a note about mental health. Um, I try to be positive, and maybe I'm not the most positive person in the world, but I can tell you about halfway through 2 weeks on this diet, I got really, really sad. Um, Sometimes it's hard to talk about mental health, and I honestly never really connected with people who said it's a chemical imbalance. And I can tell you at the 2 week point, I felt chemically unbalanced. I was very sad, very depressed. Every sad thought or negative comment people had made to me in the past just washed over me. I felt like I was in a pit. So it was hard. So I did eat meat and cheese during that day just because I figured it was the diet because I had never been in that place before. Within 24 hours, I was so much better. So for me, I can say the vegan diet is not something that I can sustain. For other people, they don't have this issue. I did try to look it up on Google, on YouTube, to see if there's anybody who's out there saying, you know, I was on a vegan diet and it really caused a shift. I couldn't find it anywhere. So all I can say is that was my experience, and because of that experience, I will not go back to eating as a vegan. Now, I will use some of the recipes because some of the recipes are really good. So I really did want to share that because I think that's really important to acknowledge. Okay, let's move on. I'd like to give you my 3 discoveries. One was turbinado sugar. Turbinado sugar sounds fancy, but all it is sugar cane. It's unprocessed, it's granulated, maybe a little heavier than white sugar, but it tastes the same. And it's not processed, it's not bleached. White sugar uses bone char to help filter out and make it a really white, crisp, clean product. That sounds disgusting, right? I didn't know that. So now I do. I'll probably use turbinado sugar in the future. So that was a really good discovery. Next is avocado toast. You hear about this, it sounds daunting. It's not. If you know how to cut up an avocado, all you do, cut it up, add a little cumin, add a little salt, add a little lemon, boom, you're done. Put it on your toast, and it's actually very good. Okay, next, oh yeah, I mentioned a little bit earlier about fake meats like tofurkey slices and fake cheese. I did not find a one that I liked. So there's that. Let's move on. Oops. COVID-19. I had to stay home, but that's okay. I like to cook. I did go to the grocery store about once a week, and so I mentioned earlier I had no issues. I found recipes. I made some really tasty food. The thing with COVID-19 is that we have to shelter in place. We did so. I was able to walk with my dog, but I couldn't run a 5K, which is one of the things I wanted to commit to with this. And all the 5Ks have been canceled. I thought, hey, no problem. I'll just go run at one of the metro parks. They're still open. Well, they started shutting those down too. So I had to skip my 5K. Boo. So I like to run. Hopefully we'll be able to get a run in next month. All right, benefits and lifestyle impact. So we talked a little bit about it, but if you're a vegan wannabe, here are some tips. 1, share the burden. The vegan diet requires frequent grocery trips, fresh food, and a lot of chopping. So if you're going to commit to this, you need to be realistic and make sure that you shift how you manage your time. You will spend more time in the kitchen. There's no way around it. Okay. If you can have someone who can help you with some of those chores like grocery shopping or chopping or making little baggies ahead of time, like of a bag of nuts and fruits and chopped vegetables and keep them in the refrigerator, that would be terrific. I would highly recommend doing this with a partner. Second, transition. Give yourself time. This is such a major, radical change from the way most Americans eat that if you try to do it all at once, you'll probably be overwhelmed and your chances of sticking with it are probably going to be much lower. So here is the strategy I would recommend. One, the first week, focus on making great green salads. Don't worry about anything else. You know, if you want to eat regular foods but you're going to increase your greens, that's a win. Then the next week, you keep eating your greens. You've got that down. Now focus on grains. Start trying to cook with grains like couscous or quinoa or even rice. And here's a tip, get a rice cooker. It makes it so much easier. Okay, third week, I would recommend waiting for the third week before you start trying to work with tofu or tempeh because it takes a little bit of practice. A lot of it might end up in the trash, but eventually you'll figure it out. Okay, I don't want to get into how to cook tofu. If you have questions about it, maybe I'll do another video on it. Okay, third, sugar. I've seen vegan websites that are dedicated to making chocolates and bakery goods because sugar is vegan. Well, sugar displaces nutrients. The nurse and the nutritionist in me just cringes at this attitude because if you're going to fill up on baked goods, those are empty calories. They're very nourishing. Is that a word? They're not nutritious and they will displace nutrients in your body. So keep it minimal. I have sugar in my coffee every single day, turbinado sugar. Okay. 4, food bullies. There are people who can't stand the thought of a vegan diet, and it's so insulting to their sensibilities that they think they have the right to insult you. And most of the time, these attacks are unsubstantiated, and they're low on knowledge and full of ignorance. So I recommend you don't even engage. I mean, here I am saying I would not choose to be a vegan, but I highly respect a lot of the things that drive this ideal. I think it's wonderful. So I'm going to embrace parts of the vegan culture that work for me. And other people just can't. They're not open-minded. They are going to say nasty things and brag about their chocolate bacon, whatever. Leave it alone is my recommendation. And I would just say, if someone tries to poke you a little bit, just say, this is how I've chosen to eat. And leave it. Walk away. That's enough said. Or you can say, if they really are like, oh no, come on, really tell me. Just say, well, what is it that I can help you understand? And reflect back to them what they're saying. So maybe that would work, but very few people are actually going to want to dialogue. That brings me to a point. Because of this, I have created a Facebook page that I will be promoting soon, talking about the vegan diet so that we can have a platform where people respectfully talk about all those different issues. Things like soy analogs, factory farming, water use, land use, beekeeping, backyard chickens. You know, they're all things that are in the conversation and that need to be addressed, but in a way that we're helping each other learn about each other instead of tearing each other down. Okay. The fifth thing I want to say is you need supplements. You can track your nutrition, and I would get the data. I would work with a nutritionist if you need one, and get supplements because it's very easy to fall into a nutritional deficiency. Now, I'm frustrated a little bit when I see stories about people who say, well, I was vegan and I ran into all these symptoms. I was tired, and they go on and on about the drama of all of this and how they didn't know that they needed extra nutrition, but now they have a supplement that you have to buy. Get ahead of that. Be smart. Be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. Track your nutrition. Use chronometer.com. I'll link it below. And you'll find that they are very thorough. They track not only your nutrients, your omegas, and your essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are those you need to get from your foods. I'll talk about that later. Okay, and the final tip I would say if you're a vegan wannabe is mixed messaging. If you are giving up certain foods for animal welfare, then create foods that are standalone good. Don't try to make fake meats. They don't taste good, they aren't interesting, and they don't really represent what the vegan ideal is. What do I miss on the vegan diet? I miss salmon. This is my second month of being a vegetarian, and I have not had any fish, and I really miss it. It's packed with omega-3s, and I think for me, that's a key. I need fish to stay chemically balanced, right? You can get a source of omega-3s from a supplement. Yay, supplement world. It is made by Cytoplan, and here's a quick tidbit. I know I'm kind of talking along, but hopefully this is interesting for you. Most people get their omega-3s from fish. Well, why are fish so high in omega-3s? It is because they eat marine algae, and marine algae are high in omega-3s. Now, great, you can eat seaweed. You're not going to get enough. So, unless you want to eat cups of it, which I doubt you will, it's good to add things like nori or sushi to your vegan recipe book, but you're probably going to need to supplement. Track your intake. If you're getting enough, great. If you're not, you can order these supplements and others through my website, patienttherapies.com. And I have hand-picked supplements that take into consideration your vegan concerns. Are they vegan? Are they non-GMO? Are they sustainably raised? All those different things that you might be worried about, I've handpicked them for you so you can be rest assured that the supplement you're getting is vegan. All right. And quality is important for supplements. As you know, if you buy something at like a CVS or a Walgreens, it's very likely that that's going to be made with cheap ingredients that your body doesn't absorb very well. Patienttherapies.com, go to shop supplements. Next, nutritional balance. Now, I've been kind of hinting at this, and here's what I found. There are 7 nutrients on a vegetarian diet and vegan diet that you will likely run short of. Iron was the only one of the 7 that I did not have an issue with because I love raisins. Raisins are high in iron, as well as a couple other things have enough iron in them. I got great amounts of iron. So I did not get enough of calcium, B12, zinc, vitamin D, and iodine. Also, I did not get enough of my 9 essential amino acids. So, like I alluded to before, I do sell supplements. They're all hand-picked for vegans, and you can also get a protein supplement that is specifically targeted to the 9 essential amino acids that you need. And I found for the amino acids that I was getting maybe 60% of the essential amino acids that I needed. And maybe that contributed to my chemical imbalance. So let's move on. 2 brutal honesty moments. Okay, and let me just read this to you. I did not enjoy the soy yogurt with my granola. I did not enjoy the fake shredded cheese. I did not enjoy the vegan sour cream. I did not like almond milk in my coffee. I did not like them, Sam I am. 2. Beans are needed as much as greens. If you really want to strive to get all your nutrition through your food, you need to eat beans every day. And because they're the best plant-based source of essential amino acids, it kind of drives what you eat. This might be week 4, when you're trying to adjust, do greens first week, grains the second week, tofu the third week, and probably beans the fourth week. And then once you get yourself grooving on a vegan diet, assess your intake and see if that's going to work for you or if you need supplements. I could not successfully incorporate beans into my diet without being gassy. Socially, this can and does create anxiety. Enough said. Best moments. Surprising my family with delicious meals, even snacks. I made these zucchini, banana, walnut, chocolate chip muffins for my family, and my daughter could not get enough of them. So that made me feel really good. Another good moment is realizing that my supplements were filling my nutritional gaps, and then watching my blood pressure drop a little bit was also very rewarding. My biggest challenge was giving up dairy. I love, love, love cheese and yogurt. Now I'm going to end it here with just a few of my favorite recipes. You can find them mostly on my Facebook site, which is 12 Diets in 12 Months. Search for that and you'll find me. Or just go to my website and you'll get the links under my 12 Diet Challenge. So stuffed portobello mushrooms, hummus, curry lentil soup, and a tempeh wrap. Those were some of my top recipes. And I've shared the recipes on my Facebook page. Key hacks: take 10 minutes to bag snacks for the week. That'll save you a lot of time, and fill in those moments where you're a little frustrated, you open that refrigerator and you really want something to eat. Avoid the analogs like the fake burgers and meats. An egg white substitute is chickpea liquid. If you're a baker and you use egg whites and whip them up, you can do this with chickpea liquid and it will whip up just like an egg white. It's amazing and it works great. And I would say the key foods that helped me stay on track were turbinado sugar, avocado, greens, lentils, potatoes, granola, bare naked granola, by the way, awesome, raisins, grains, and olive oil. So that is my summary of my vegan month. I hope that was helpful. And until I see you again, be kind to yourself.